Hello, welcome to Miss Peepers Reading Corner. I'm Katrina, aka Miss Peepers. Let's talk about banned books. This month, all of my videos are dedicated to banned books, why they were banned, what are they about, and my belief that everyone should be allowed to decide what they want to read, and no one should be allowed to decide what someone else is allowed to read, unless it's your own child who is still a minor. Today we're going to discuss The Phantom Tollbooth by Norton Juster. This is a middle grade about a boy named Miles who is just feeling kind of blah about everything. He's going through his days, he's not getting a whole lot of enjoyment out of things. This modern reader, read it as perhaps depression. But regardless, he's not really excited about life. And one day he gets home and he has a package, and inside is a toll booth and a little car. So he hops into the car, goes through the toll booth, thinking, okay, this is a little toy, I'll drive across my living room. And instead he's transported to a fantasy world. He goes through places like the doldrums, Digitopia, the mountains of ignorance, and drives past the sea of knowledge. He meets a lot of people along the way and ends up embarking upon a quest to save the princesses Rhyme and Reason, who have been trapped in a tower. This book is a lot of fun, and even though it was published before I was born, I don't recall ever reading this as a child. If my mother is watching this and remembers that I'm wrong, let me know, because I don't remember this book. But anyway, I had a lot of fun with it. It's illustrated. There's a picture of the humbug trying to chase away the spelling bee. Juster plays with words. He plays with social concepts, and it's just a fun adventure. There are definitely aspects of it that have not aged as well. This was published in 1961. There are some terms in here that we no longer use, and the storyline has been criticized for being a bit sexist, where the boy has to rescue the princesses. But despite those aspects that haven't aged well, I do think this is a really fun story. So why don't the censors like it? Well, this was an interesting one. The only thing that I could find is that in Colorado it was banned because it was deemed poor fantasy. I don't know what that means, so I'm gonna speculate. Everything that happens in this fantasy world, or everything that's in this fantasy world, is a satirical exaggeration of our current society, or the society 1961. And a lot of these things are still true. For example, you get to the Island of Conclusions by jumping there. You have the two princes, one who runs Dictionopolis and believes that words are the most important thing. And then you have the king of Digitopolis, who believes that numbers are the most important things. And each of them thinks that the other is entirely wrong and the other is not important at all. But truly, both words and numbers are valuable, especially when used together, intelligently, with thought. Miles navigates this world by asking questions and challenging authority, and not just taking people's words at face value. He makes mistakes. He occasionally lies. There's one point in which he steals, but he does so to help the population as a whole, and he's later rewarded for it. And all of this because the world no longer has any kind of rhyme or reason. And I'm going to make a bunch of assumptions about this person about whom I know nothing, who challenged this book for being poor fantasy. But I think there are a lot of adults who forget how magical books are to children, or can be, or should be, whether there's actual literal magic in them, which there is in this book, or not. But there's something about a children's book that encourages children to think for themselves, that plays with words, that talks to children as though they are actually able to understand what is being said to them. Shocker. Who would do such a thing? A book that does not talk down to children. That's so threatening to some adults, and it's fascinating to me. Or maybe this challenger was just offended by puns. But let me know what you think in the comments. Have you read The Phantom Tollbooth? Did you like it? What do you think poor fantasy means? And either way, I will see you in the next one.